right. Hello, people. You are now tuned in to the morning show with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist. I really do sincerely hope that you're having a great day. Every day that you wake up is a gift, and it is a wonderful thing to be alive. Today, I want to not, I'm not going to keep you long, but I want to share some things that's been near and dear to my heart. I'm trying to do my best to change the world and leave it a better place than where I found it. Each and every one of us, under the sound of my voice, our time here is limited. When you can pair it to eternity, even if you live to be 120, that's nothing compared to eternity. Our lives here are nothing more than a vapor. We're here today and gone tomorrow, just like that. So, what you want to do is take advantage of every opportunity that you've been given to change the world and make it a better place than where you left it. And that has been our mission here at Pulse Wave Trading. I want to help as many people as humanly possible to take back the control in their lives. Many of you under the sound of my voice have lost jobs or are about to lose jobs. Many under the sound of my voice today are struggling with one thing or another. But the biggest challenge that is facing the majority of people right now is finances. It's money. I want to create as many traders as possible. In so doing, we will take back control of our lives and no longer have to be beholden to the government. Do not wait for the government to figure things out. Do not wait and rely on the government to save you. The government is not here to save you. The government is not going to save you. All right? That's just not going to happen. So if that's what you've been waiting for, you will be sadly mistaken. You do not want to be reliant upon, dependent upon universal basic income, because that's what they would like for you to do, to be dependent upon, reliant upon universal basic income. Because in doing so, you will own nothing. That's the game plan. But just remember, at the end of the day, someone owns everything. There's no such thing as something that is considered personal private property that does not have an owner. Either it had an owner and the owner died and transferred these assets to their heirs, but if they don't have any heirs, it's going somewhere. Someone owns something. All right. There's nothing that is free, it's owned by someone. So if you don't own anything, if you no longer own anything tangible, and in some cases even intangible, like if you don't even own your own intellectual property, remember the government wants to own it all. So the government will be the owner. And if you think about it, they've already been very successful, extremely successful, in conditioning the American people to that fact. Case in point, you can lease a car. You don't have to own a car. Some people, it's cheaper for them to lease than to own. People rent apartments. Now, instead of buying and owning movies, what do? You rent them. You rent movies. That's what you do. And you pay a subscription fee service for an app to watch certain movies or television shows, even documentaries, you name it. Any type of media that can be watched on a television, there is going to be somewhere along the line a subscription where you don't have ownership. Believe it or not, you don't own anything in your possession when it gets down to the nuts and bolts of it. Take, for instance, your video games. What happens if you have an online game that you must be connected to the internet to play? What if the servers are shut off because the company decides it doesn't want to pay for it anymore? Now what? I'll tell you what. The servers are shut down. It's just that simple. Your ability to play the game has been taken away. They call that bricking. Your game has been bricked. You can't play it. You don't own it anymore. And you say, but I paid for this game. I have spent thousands of hours or hundreds of hours playing this game and leveling up my characters and unlocking things and 100%ing the game. That means you've accomplished all the trophies and you've done all the side missions and quests. You've unlocked every weapon and armor that can be possible, every skin in the game, everything. You've seen everything in the game it has to offer, even uncovered a few secrets along the way. And this is your favorite game and one of your favorite pastimes. And now you get an announcement and notice saying that the game will no longer be available after such and such date and time because the servers are going to be shut off. And since it's an online game, you won't be able to play it. And if you can't play something that you physically possess, then you don't really possess it. And have you noticed the trend toward game cartridges? Like case in point for the Nintendo Switch. And that's a good example. You buy a physical copy of the game. But once again, you need the internet to play this particular game, right? Well, guess what? Once again, if the server is shut off, whether you own the physical cartridge or not, the game will not play. You have a useless cartridge. And there has been a push in this realm too to have nothing on the cartridge. So you buy a game and you're like, oh, I own the cartridge, I own the physical copy, so I'm good to go. But what you don't realize is when you put in that cartridge for the first time, it's going to connect to the internet and download the game. All the physical copy cartridge has on it basically is a download link to download the game. Games are no longer being held on the physical disc, on the physical cartridges. Instead, those cartridges are just a key that will unlock you in the web to download the game, to unlock the game to play. But once again, if it's an online only game and the server is shut down, you're done. It's taken, it's gone. You can never play it again. Another aspect of this that is used, again, the theme is you will own nothing, right? So, but you're not going to be happy. They say you'll own nothing and be happy. I'm telling you, you're going to own nothing. You're going to be extremely unhappy. So another way that they get you to is digital only. Even the PlayStation 5 has a version of its PlayStation where it's digital games only, no physical discs, and there's no physical disc drive to put a disc. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I love digital games. I like physical backups, but I like digital games because it's easier and quicker to, switch between games. Say, okay, I'm done playing this one. Let me just go ahead and start playing this other one. I don't have to take a disc out and put it away and pull on. I don't have to do all that. I just push a button and the next game boots up. It's smooth. It's quick. Perfect, right? But another way they get you is with the digital only games. So here's what happens. You only have but so much storage space, right? Even if you have the capacity to expand said storage space, it still has limits. It's not infinite. You can't expand your storage space to infinite. So the physical drive only has but so much space on it, right? So if all your games are digital, and let's say you have a vast library, right? What happens if the server is shut down or the quote unquote eShop is shut down? The games that you purchased are gone forever. It's like being robbed in the middle of the night. Think about it. If you're like most people, your library of digital games is vast, maybe spanning into the hundreds. It's not uncommon for someone to have 200 games on the digital eShop that they have saved into the cloud, right? But let's say your storage space only allows you, let's say, to download 20 of those games, just using an arbitrary number here. All right, because some games are very large because of all the the heavy graphics and stuff. So let's say you can only download 20 of your favorite out of that 200. Okay, so that's 180 games now that has the potential to go bye-bye because the eShop has been turned off. So how are you going to download? What if you want to switch out? Okay, I'm done with these 20 games. Now I want to delete these off my uh, game console and download 20 more. You won't be able to. It's like those games are gone forever because they were digital only. And another way they get you too, like again, going back to Nintendo Switch, not all of their games save into the cloud. See, one of the benefits of the cloud is that it doesn't matter how much physical space you have on your system, on your console, because you can always re-download those games anytime you want. But the problem comes in is when the eShops are turned off. Now the game will not function anymore. You don't get to play the way you want it to play. It's gone forever. You can't re-download it. It's gone. The eShop is gone. Look at all the different consoles over the past 20, 30 years, and look how many of those systems are just gone. They're just gone. If you don't have the server and these were online games, they can't be played. And as a result of this too, a lot of the single player offline games are not really getting the attention, that they should get because all of the focus is going toward the online gaming. All right. There's a push and a trend towards everything being online, all gaming going online. And instead of buying and owning a copy of the game, you're basically leasing or renting the game in a sense because they're switching to a model games for service, games as a service. So you pay a monthly fee and you can play the game. Of course, you're going to have to connect to the internet in order to do so, sort of like Steam, right? But going back to the Nintendo Switch, not all of the games save into the cloud, right? Like what's that game that the kids like to play? With the squids and the ink. You know the game I'm talking about. If you know the game I'm talking about. Well, that's one of the games that does not save into the cloud, right? And you have to be online to play it. Okay. Splatoon, there you go. That's what it's called. Splatoon does not save to the Nintendo cloud like all your other games. Another one that doesn't save into the cloud is the Animal Crossing game that they came out with a couple years ago. That doesn't save to the cloud either, which kind of sucks because if let's say you drop your Nintendo Switch and a car runs over it. Well, anything that you have uploaded and saved into the cloud, all you got to do is get a new Switch and attach the new Switch to your account, and you can re-download those games along with your game saves. No problem, right? But for Splatoon and Animal Crossing, oh well, you cannot get that back. You won't be able to get that back because all of your game data is not available to go to the cloud. It has to be saved on the, you know, on the system itself. So if the system breaks, well, there you go. You're out of luck. So that does kind of suck. But you can see this push toward renting your life, renting your lifestyle, renting your life away. Rent, rent, rent. And if anything happens, well, then you lose your life. Think about it. If your money, you know, fails you one week, then you could lose access to your entire life because everything wants to go to a cloud. Go to a cloud. One of the things that gets me too is hilarious is during like power outages, or let's say your internet is out or something like that, right? This part is funny. They'll say, you can always, download our app, and you can troubleshoot that way and get a lot of your questions answered that way. And it's hilarious. I'm like, yeah, I could do that if we had power. We have no power. So how am I supposed to get onto your app if the internet is out and the power is out? You see what I'm saying? So it's just one more, eye-opening aspect of things, that the more we move and push toward reliance upon internet connectivity, it's going to have these serious unintended consequences at times. Just like, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies are amazing, right? But they're not physical, tangible, right? So if the electricity goes out, there goes your Bitcoins, right? But if I have gold and silver coins, that's a physical, tangible thing. I don't need electricity in order to spend gold and physical gold and silver. I don't need it. I don't need the internet. I don't need electricity. But the push is going toward, electronic everything. Everything is going to become internet and electronic. No more physical. And they've been slowly, incrementally conditioning you to this fact. Has anyone noticed? That's the question. Have you noticed? Everything is digital and electronic. And the next step is to make all of the money completely 100% digital. Have you ever noticed too at some like grocery stores, when you're checking out, especially at the self-checkout, they have signs up saying no cash? So not only is the register not going to accept cash, but it's also not going to dispense any cash to you when you get your change back, per se. Everything, it wants everything to be digital. But what happens when all the lights go out? You lose access to your money. You can't access the money. You can't access anything. If the power goes out and or the internet goes out, the economy grinds to a screeching halt. You ever went to the grocery store during a power outage or an ice storm or a blizzard or any severe storm and the power is out? You know what happens if they can't maintain their freezers? All that food in there has to be thrown away. All right. So, yeah, this is where we're going. And when you go into the store, they'll say we're closed basically because the power's out. We can't help you. Yeah, but I have money to spend here. Yeah, but we can't ring you up because the registers are what? Electronic. We need power to make the registers work. Not only do we need power to make the registers work, but we need the internet in order to complete your transactions. Because why? Most people are using a digital form of money. If you're pulling out a debit card or a credit card, that is digital money. It is not physical, tangible money. It is digital. So if the electric is out and or the internet is out, you will not be able to process electronic payments. So what is a person to do? What do you do? God forbid the power goes out right when you pull into the gas station because you're on E and you're about to go and you're about to purchase yourself some gasoline to refill your vehicle. And just before you could grab the nozzle to put the gas in the car, the power goes out. Now the gas pump won't work. Why not? Because it needs power, it needs electricity. Do you guys remember back in the day, for those that were alive, when you could pump gas without electricity? You could go to the store and they could ring up your purchases without electricity. Remember that? Remember those days? Didn't matter. They didn't have the internet, so they didn't need it. The pump at the gas station wasn't electronic. Didn't need the internet and didn't need electricity. When you went to the general store to buy some groceries or snacks or whatever, get dinner, guess what? Power's out at the store, but we're still open for business. Come on in, bring your cash and shop to your heart desires. And we'll ring you up afterwards. No problem. So yeah, there's a lot of pros to having technology, which makes life a lot easier and more convenient, but there's also a lot of unintended consequence and cons involved. Now, another one of these big cons, and then we'll end it, is what is happening to the current economic system that is being systematically dismantled right before our eyes. And it's sickening to watch the complete breakdown of our society. Now, there is a bright spot, a very bright spot, okay? But it has a finite window of opportunity. And that is the ability to capitalize on this once in a lifetime move that is about to hit in these markets. You've been hearing me talk about gold and silver, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. These markets are going to surprise people in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead. And some things are going to happen that may even frighten some people. So let me explain what you can expect in the coming days. For those of you like myself who love to trade the futures side of things, the commodity future sides of things, you will see margin increases in gold and silver and Bitcoin and Ethereum futures as the markets catch fire. We have not seen the fire yet. You may have felt like we saw some fire, but you haven't seen the fire yet. Let me jog your memory and then we'll end it here. Do you recall 2011? Do you recall how gold and silver were just on a absolute tear and could not be stopped? Do you remember that? Well, those days are coming back. Okay. And you need to be ready for it because a lot of people are not going to be able to catch it. There's so much happening and it's happening so fast. And it's going to get harder. You've heard me say this before. It's going to become harder to get access to these markets if you don't already have the access established. All right. They're going to curb and make sure to regulate and make it harder for you to have access. They're going to say, we just want to keep you safe. We just want to keep you safe. But they're not. They know that there are smart people that see the handwriting on the wall, and they don't want you ruining their plans for everyone else. All right. So just be ready and be prepared for these events because they will be coming. All right. So with that being said, like I said, I didn't want to keep you long today. Just wanted to put the bug in your ear. If you've been on the fence and you haven't really decided yet to take the plunge, you need to do so now before you lose your opportunity. Do it now while you still have some risk capital and a nest egg to work with. Don't come to me after you've blown through all your money saying, "Can you help me?" Because the answer will be no, I cannot. All right. And I'm trying to help as many people as I can. This is the last opportunity that a lot of you are going to even see in order to change your situation and change your life for the better. With that being said, remember, the system works if you work the system. Bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'll see you guys this evening for the evening watch list report as we prepare for Take Back Friday and wrapping the week up with all these government reports. Until then, smash the like button, share, and subscribe. And on the other side, I'm out. Peace.